What's up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast. I'm Jeff James. With me, as always, the incredible, unobtainable, luscious Brody Faults, coming to you live on YouTube and Twitch every single Thursday evening, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you're listening to your vehicle, yeah, you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you're late. Just a wee bit late. Just a couple of hours, because obviously this goes up at the butt crack of dawn on Friday morning.
There it is.
There
it is.
So, hope you're enjoying it so far. As I've only been speaking for 8 seconds, but for those who are joining us for the first time, yes, indeed, we go live every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and you can catch the audio version of our podcast on Friday mornings, real early, around 5 a.m. is when the episode's usually published. You can listen to us on every single podcast platform, so you can find us anywhere. Spread the word. And every single week, we are bringing fresh, hot, emphasis on hot, video game news to your ear holes. It's fantastic. Just dumping right in those ear holes, dude. Just
Oh, no.
Just dropping a hot dump of gaming news right into your ear hole.
God, I hate it so much.
Awesome.
I hate it.
We're also part of Spawn Camp, which is a collective of great content creators, everything from Gundam to more PC-focused gaming kind of stuff and pop culture-based things. Brody and I are also part of OBO, which can also be found on Spawn Camp on YouTube, which is the Objectively Bad Opinions podcast. It can also be found on every podcast network known to man, where we just shoot the shit. Nick usually talks about his butthole, and we just have a good time. So it's a good time. So if you're into buttholes and not games, that's the podcast to listen to. But if you're into games, you found the right one. Because we love games too. And last but not least, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. With that, what have you been playing, Brody?
Elden Ring. Just a whole shitload of Elden Ring.
The way you Elden Ring.
I honestly don't think I have touched really anything else since Elden Ring came out.
How many times have you died?
Oh God, I don't even know.
Does it keep,
I wish there was
keep track?
I don't think so. I wish there was like some NPC you could go talk to or something, and that NPC would tell you how many times you've died. It's definitely been a lot. Probably. Oh God, I don't know. But I'm like almost 26 hours into it now, I think.
Oh wow.
Over the course of 2 weeks, so I've
my.
been putting in some time. But yeah, no, it's still fantastic. Still loving it. Yeah, I have not played anything else. I haven't even turned on my PlayStation or Xbox.
Damn, bro.
Just been playing Elden Ring on PC.
Damn.
And grinding away. So, how about you?
Well, like a phoenix from the ashes, I rise again after being sick for nearly a week and a bit. Now the wife is sick. Wasn't the old Roni. Some sort of really bad cold. Like super gross head cold. Like it started out with just throwing up. So it's like I had the stomach flu, and then the stomach flu turned into like a cold. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But so I did a little bit of gaming, continuing my season in NHL 2022. So pretty happy about that. Won the Super Bowl as Russell Wilson in Madden 21 because I'm not buying 22. And yeah, I know Russell Wilson's not on the Seahawks anymore. So I'm shook, dude. From that,
sore spot, huh?
my mind's blown. Like, I don't know who the hell we're gonna get or what we're gonna do.
You can have Carson Wentz.
He's not moving, right? Are there rumors on that?
Yeah, he's supposed to be leaving the Colts, isn't he?
Is he? Did that come out today too?
No, I know Ethan's been talking about it, and like every Colts fan in the world. And I just keep blowing them shit because they're never going to be happy because they had Peyton Manning and nothing will ever be good enough.
I mean, I think Andrew Luck would have been unreal if he didn't retire.
Yeah, he retired.
He would have been
really early.
Solid, dude. He got a neck beard and retired.
Yeah, but the poor guy was going to end up paralyzed if he stayed any longer.
Yeah.
Like, he was messed up.
Doyle also retired.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a rough year for him.
He's going to retire next.
It needs to be T.Y. Hilton.
Right. Don't worry.
He should have retired like 5 years ago.
He's just going to get injured.
He hasn't played for like 4 seasons.
Anyways, enough sports. Yeah, so I played that.
Yeah.
I played. Cause this is kind of really almost a culmination of 2 weeks, 3.
Yeah, you've
Because
been
the
gone
week
for a little
before I
bit.
was gone, I was at work. Well, some shit came up and it was wild, but it's probably where I got the fucking cold from. God damn it.
You guys have a party where you guys coughed into each other's mouths, or what
Right?
happened?
Yeah. I played Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderland's one-shot adventure.
Uh-huh.
Not great.
You didn't like it, huh?
No.
You aren't big on Borderlands to begin
Yeah,
with.
it just
though.
doesn't matter though. This is just so cheesy
It's just
and
not good.
just it also was buggy.
Really?
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty
been out
buggy
for
and like
forever.
yeah, and it was out for a while before I even jumped on it.
Yeah.
Kind of just throws you in there and it's like
I'm still kind of looking forward to the full game that's coming out.
I
Tiny
imagine
Tina's
the full
Wonderland.
game's good. This
Yeah.
feels like it was just like cobbled up together and just thrown the fuck out there.
It's possible. I mean, it was a standalone DLC type weird little situation
like
there.
trial
so,
slash demo or whatever. Yeah,
yeah. That's
it's just I don't know. It was buggy. It was really weird how they threw you into everything. It was like the funny parts were so cheesily and poorly funny that it was just like this is fucking annoying.
kind of par for the course for Borderlands.
Yeah, but this is like next level, bro. This
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a little. It was weak. It was weak. Like not like funny, like charming. Borderlands stuff. Like this is just I don't know. Wasn't great. Wouldn't recommend.
Everything I've seen for like the early previews and stuff for Tiny Tina's Wonderland looks like it's supposed to be really good. I mean, a lot of
Good.
people are pretty high on it, and I like the idea of the D&D combination with like your typical Borderlands type thing. I mean, they basically took grenades and reworked them as spells, and then you still have like weapons and stuff like that. And
Yeah, like
it looks like it could be really cool.
Yeah, like in this one-shot adventure DLC thing that you go play. I mean, you start off with that where you're playing D&D, and it shoots you in there, and it's like one of those things where it's. I'm trying to find the movie that would correlate to it best, but I mean you're in there, and then Tina's like, "Oh no, it's not this size of dragon. It's this size of dragon." And it becomes, all of a sudden the dragon becomes 3 times bigger, right?
Yeah.
Immediately, like so there's narration onto it, which that's kind of interesting, but there's just so many bugs. Yeah, I was like, "Fuck this!
That's
I can't play that." Then I played some Overwatch as per usual, really hoping to hear something about number 2. Highly doubt it. I don't think it exists. And then, gosh, trying to think, some City Skylines, some Parkitect. Trying to think of something else. I know there's something else I ripped for a bit. Have to come back to me. I mean, really, it was just sick. I was sleeping so much and throwing up. I had my mouth in my butt and just, just wasn't great. I was the game being played, dude.
Yeah. Man.
Wasn't great.
I wanted actually I'd say I wanted to play something else, but I didn't. I just wanted to play Elden Ring. I probably will. I honestly, for the foreseeable future, I don't see myself like slowing down on Elden Ring until I beat it pretty much. I'm hooked in that game. But yeah, Rocket League, I have not played much Rocket League in a while. I think I've played like maybe 1 or 2 nights in the last like season of Rocket League.
Wow.
So for a handful of months, and
that game's just dying in general, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in a weird spot right now. They just launched a new season today, and I don't care.
Do we
I'm
know
over it, I think.
Do we know if the handheld, the mobile game, like took off or no?
It seemed like it had a pretty good following for a very short period of time. I had it on my phone. I played it for like the first week or so it was out, and I haven't touched it since.
Okay.
It's all right, but it's not. I don't know. I played so much of that game. I think I'm just entirely burnt out on everything Rocket League at this point.
Yeah.
And just moving on to other things. And now my PC is actually capable of doing other things than playing Rocket League. So
what?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It helps a lot.
Do you want to hit us with the state of play stuff?
Yeah, so we had a state of play this week that mainly focused on, I believe it was Japanese developers
Oh yeah.
predominantly. There was a few things that weren't strictly Japanese developers, but I mean, predominantly this was very much as advertised, which they have been good about that. They've been trying to temper expectations and nobody listens, so you
No.
kind of end up with what you got, right? But so the first thing they showed off was Exo Primal, which will be coming out in 2023. This kind of looked like a
Cool. Dino Crisis, dude.
yeah, it was like Dino Crisis, except for all of the characters looked like they were ripped directly out of Anthem.
I thought they were ripped out of Anthem and Warframe.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. And even in the trailer, like some of the dinosaurs, like especially like the raptor looking dinosaurs, were like kind of glitchy. Like you could see them doing that thing where there's like too many characters on one screen and they start like freaking out a little bit.
Oh, they're stupid
But I
dinosaurs.
think the overall, what's that?
They're stupid dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're dumb dinosaurs. But I think overall the presentation looked kind of cool. I thought it could be a really cool game, but I just get this feeling it's not going to be, unfortunately. I don't know why. I just have that gut feeling about it. It looks neat. I mean, it's a 4-player co-op type experience, but it's like zombies except for with dinosaurs and Anthem characters. It's different. But that was all right. Next up, they showed off a new trailer for Ghostwire Tokyo, which is launching March 25th. So just over 2 weeks right now. This game is interesting. Each time they show a trailer, there's kind of something new about it. Like, I think this is really the first time we saw who you are playing as, other than just their hands. So this was kind of neat. But I'm still not sure. I don't think I'm gonna pick this game up.
Yeah, it's not my forte. They put out 18 minutes of gameplay today.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't know.
It kind of reminds me of like BioShock. At least the gameplay does to some extent.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm picking up on that.
BioShock is up there in some of my favorite games, but I just don't. I don't know. Something about this one's not really sinking its teeth into me. It's something if it gets reviewed very well, I may pick it up at some point, but it's not something I'm going to be picking up day one for sure. So you're probably not going to have a diggity review on that one. Next up, they showed off Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. So there's a new demo that launched, and this was kind of strange too. It was a couple not even a couple minutes. It was like a minute-long trailer, and basically just to announce that there's a new demo that's available now, and your progress will carry over into the main game when it launches on March 18th.
I know, I was kind of confused by that. I was like, there's so much fucking Final Fantasy, bro. Like, there's just so much.
And this one seemed, I mean, Final Fantasy can be pretty campy in general, but this one seems very campy and this one's just not speaking to me in any way, shape, or form. I like Final Fantasy games, but I don't know about this one. And the first time we saw it, it looked bad, like just straight up bad. So we'll see, right? We're a week away from this one launching, so we'll have a little bit better idea of once some reviews start coming out and things. They showed off Forspoken, which got a new gameplay trailer. This will be releasing October 11th. How do you feel about this game?
Yeah, is there room for a game like this right
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what this game really even is still. I mean, it's
I think it's like this. Okay, so didn't she? Oh, somebody gave like some big interview after E3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she is what? She's reading a book or something. Or life goes bad, and she basically the narrative is life goes bad. Then she goes into this crazy adventure, or whatever, where she like finds her skills or the skills before. Like she doesn't think she's good at anything, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is just like Life is Strange meets like a real broken down Dragon Age.
Kinda, yeah. And it has some odd things too, where she's she's almost like skating across the world rather than, like normal running. It looks like she's
Yeah.
skating almost. There's some weird stuff going on here. The first time we saw it, I was really excited about it, but each time I see a new trailer for it,
Like,
I'm more concerned about what this is
the
going to be
environments
or if
look
it's going to be fun.
pretty cool. The boss
Yeah.
battles or enemies that they've shown so far look pretty neat. Like there's a big old like black bird that she like goes up against, and that looks pretty sweet. But like when you pause it, so it looks like it's a huge like runner, right? Like you're just zipping around all over the friggin' place. But when you pause it, if you're not moving fast, it looks like there's nothing to do.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I gathered as well. It was just
I think you're just skating
it seems
around
like
for enemies
yeah,
and just beating them up, and that's about it. And yeah, I don't
it
know.
looks like the traversal is the main focus, even more so than the combat, which I don't know how well that's going to fare in the long run. I mean, I know there's some games that have done that relatively well, but I don't know if this is going to be one of them.
And like, what I don't fucking get is, like in the trailer, she's on the bus, she gets mugged by people, she's having flashbacks of getting mugged. Then she's sitting on top of a sign where I think like, she's, I don't know, maybe suicidal, like thinking about, or just trying to like be at peace or whatever. And then she just dreams, and all of a sudden she goes through a fucking wormhole into this place. And then the trailer never explains anything else as to why she's in there.
Right.
She just running around and beating shit up, which is fine, but like fucking, I guess there's a queen at the end, but it's like, I don't know what she's trying to do, face her nightmares. It's not like Ni no Kuni, right? Where like it, not that it doesn't make more sense, but it's all cartoony. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it's really gonna do. But then again, right? Like you and I both saw Eternal when Eternal came out. We're like, yeah, we don't really give a shit about that, and then it blew up. Mm-hmm. Like people fucking loved it, and obviously we'll get to that later on. But I mean, I don't know. To answer you, I don't think it'll do very well. I don't think it's gonna do great, and I'm definitely not gonna pick it up.
Yeah, no, this is one I'm definitely going to wait on. Like I said, I was excited at first, and now it's tapering off each time I see more and more of it. And originally, I remember some people saying it looks pretty generic, and again, at first I was like, yeah, it's fine, but
like you'd think too that she'd be like a jazzed up character in that world, but like she's run. I mean, it looks like she gets different capes and stuff like that in the trailer. Mm-hmm. But her character doesn't fucking change that much.
No, not really.
Like everything's pretty
like
bland on her and shit. She's wearing sneakers
yeah.
and a different cape, and she's ripping around a bunch of rooftops. It's also a Square Enix game.
Yes.
And it's the Luminous Productions. Did they work on Avengers?
No. That was Crystal Dynamics.
That's right. Sorry, my bad. My apologies. Yeah, I don't know.
This one's a big question mark, and I'm
question
hesitant at best. Next up, we saw some Gundam Evolution.
Yeah.
So this is set to release later this year, and a network test for both the U.S. and Japan is coming this spring. Now, this is a 6v6, like Call of Duty-esque arena battler type thing, or arena shooter. The weirdest thing about this, I mean, if you are not familiar with Gundam, I mean, most people at least know what it is, I would think. Maybe not. Maybe I've just been
I think
in this
most people
weird,
have
nerdy
seen
something
the
about
main
it, right?
Gundam, right? Like, I mean, it's
They are giant robots of sorts, and
mechs.
mechs. Sorry, because they're piloted. But all of the environments in this game are built around the Gundam, so there's no sense of scale. Like everything, you just feel like a normal small Gundam.
It's fucking
in a weird like it. The environment looks like it would in Halo, right? Where everything's just like normal size. You feel like a normal person.
Yeah.
Something about it just feels so.
But
off.
you do grow. Like in the trailer, there's power ups where you can become bigger, which is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But I also sit here and go like, hey, it'd be cool like fighting a city or something like that. But then that's really Power Rangers,
right?
Style, so maybe it's cheesy. I don't know.
And I'm sure our buddies over at Build Bros are excited to play this, but I'm a little concerned because there was nothing about this that screamed like Gundam to me, other than the fact that you look like a Gundam. But it's not. It doesn't have that sense of scale. You don't feel like you're in a mech. I don't know. It's something about it felt
And there's no
super weird just
destruction.
from
There's
watching.
no
Yeah.
environment destruction.
Which again, giant mechs shooting like fucking rockets
Yeah,
and
like blow
lasers
the
and all
fucking
sorts of shit
wall
at
out
each
or
other.
something. It's crazy. It's like we're fighting in a
Yeah.
Gundam's house. The fuck are we doing?
Right.
Get out of there.
It's very strange. It's very very interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be free to play if I remember correctly. And it has potential there, but I feel like there's a lot of things that are lost to really convey what they could have conveyed here. Next up, we saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection.
Yeah.
So this is a huge collection of a bunch of different Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. It looked like everything from the old Game Boy game up to like arcade games and a bunch of different games in here. And this is launching sometime this year. We didn't get an exact date or even a time period, just this year sometime.
People were wondering too if this is going to come to Switch.
It's coming to everything.
Did they announce that officially?
It was at the end of I don't know if it was specifically that trailer, but at least the standalone trailer showed it's coming to
cool.
everything.
All right, everything
I mean,
fantastic.
yeah, Xbox, Switch, Steam, the whole shebang.
I mean, it should do good. It's
I imagine
there's
it
a
will.
game for everybody, I think, in that collection.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
We'll have to see.
Giga Bash was the next thing I showed off.
Yeah.
So this looks like it's a spiritual successor to Rampage almost.
Rampage Battle Arena?
Yeah, so this is like a kaiju where you're like giant monsters fighting each other. Looks interesting. I mean, the Rampage games can be really fun, but I don't know, right? Like you got to capture that feeling pretty well. Rampage always did a pretty good job with it, so you're gonna have to do something special here. But it looks interesting enough. I might check it out.
It looks like there's
Maybe.
less like environment encroaching on like your abilities and stuff in this, though. It just seems like the environment's there and you can just destroy it while you're trying to destroy everybody else.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're like getting points for destroying the
No, it
environment.
just looks like you
it's
just
solely...
happen to be there. There's in the trailer there's a lava. There's a city, obviously. There's a lava environment. So obviously you can't be in the lava. Like there's some mechanics to that map, but like it doesn't look like the army's attacking you. At least in the trailer,
No.
or anything like that. Like
Yeah,
just,
at least not from the...
Yeah, you're just hurting your fellow players. I don't know. It looks cool.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of legs something like this would have, just because it looks like it's going to rely heavily on either local or online play, and I don't know if this is going to be a big enough game to culture that community for a huge online play type of deal. So I feel like it could be pretty hot right off the get-go, but die off pretty quickly too.
I mean, I feel like it would do better free to play.
I agree.
Like, because
But-
then you could at least put like, I don't know, other IP in it or something. I don't know. Like, I think
Yeah,
it'd be
I don't-
brilliant to see something like this, and then they start throwing like more Sony IP into it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You get to play as like Cloud as a
Just like
Kaiju.
a giant kaiju, yeah, a giant kaiju cloud.
No, it looks cool, but I don't know how well it'll end up doing in the long run. They showed off JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. So this is coming early fall of 2022. This is a fighting game with JoJo characters. So interesting. And I believe this is a port, correct? I believe this has been released prior, from what I gathered.
I think you're
Meant
right.
to look into that a little bit more, but I believe it said it was coming back. So I think this was something that launched a while ago. I don't care for the art style that they went with on this.
No.
I mean, JoJo has a very, very has that like 90s anime art style, but this is something entirely different that it does not capture. I don't think it captures the show all that well. I mean, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I watched any of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I don't feel like this really is doing what I would like to see from this personally. It's got this weird, like, almost everybody has this kind of outline to it that makes it feel strange. I don't know.
Yeah, they're all like alias, like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool though. I don't know how much room all these like fighting games that keep coming out have like
Not much
to
because
live.
I mean we saw a bunch of other shit come out that was announced at E3 and came out from EA, from Ubisoft, from Battle Royales to just basic arcade fighters, and they've all flunked.
Yeah, I mean when you have a Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, it's and I mean Super Smash Bros. Even I don't feel like there's a whole lot of room for these fighting games to really grow
I
and,
think they're
and
just
build up that community.
I think they're just more on the fact. I don't think they really give a shit about the community side of stuff. I think they're just building on the fact that there's a huge love of anime that continues to grow here, and I think it's just hey, let's get that out.
Well, and I think Guilty Gear really captures that the best too. I think Guilty Gear is a beloved fighting game for sure, and it captures that anime style. Granted, it doesn't like lean as heavy into the actual IP of anything else, especially not something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that is a massive anime. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few people that buy it. I am not personally all that interested though. Trek to Yomi, I believe that's how it's pronounced. I hope. This is launching spring 2022. So this is a side-scrolling kind of fighting, platforming type of game. The art style is very unique. I actually really, really dig it. It's all black and white.
It's like black and white, and it's kind of not as severe or as crazy. Not severe because it's cool, but like missing frames, like Spider-Verse has in its way to get that motion, as if it's being, like you said, as if you're watching an old black and white samurai film.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is really cool. So they just nix out a couple frames, which is
and
dope.
The trailer for it even like kind of captured that too, because they introduced like all the stars of the game and everything, and like who the voice actors are. I actually am pretty excited for this. This looks really cool, and it looked very smooth as they showed the combat. Like there's a part where you go behind like a seat, like a paper thin type wall, and you can see the
silhouette,
the light illuminating your silhouettes, and you can fight behind that. And like there's a real slick moment where you cut one person and then duck under and then get behind another guy and cut him. It was actually a really, really slick trailer. I think we had seen this before, but I don't think it was really on my radar at the time. But this time it definitely caught my attention.
It'll be interesting to see like how enveloped the story is in it and how quick of a game this is. I mean, it's a Devolver Digital title, so it's not going to be a massive. I mean, there's other people that work on it. Leonard Menchari, Flying Wild Hog, Devolver Digital. So PS5, PS4. I mean, maybe this is like the samurai generation now. We're going to get a... Like,
I was going to say, we've been getting a lot of the samurai...
from zombies for the last God knows how many years.
Well, now we've got like dinosaur zombies.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
I guess they weren't really zombies, but same idea, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. I'm gonna keep a closer eye on this as it approaches, and probably will pick it up because I imagine it's gonna be more in the indie price range of like $20 to $30, and be a little bit smaller, bite-sized
probably
type
a
experience.
$30 title.
Yeah, and probably be like 6 to 8 hours, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely underestimating it, but I assume that's gonna be what it is. And honestly, after playing Elden Ring, that might be a nice little thing to bounce into for a while. Next up, we saw the Returnal Ascension update. So this is a free update that adds co-op as well as a new endless mode, and this is releasing March 22nd. This is cool. I mean,
my bad too. I think at the beginning of the episode I said Eternal for some reason.
Yeah, when you said it, it took me a second, but I realized what you were talking about.
Returnal.
No, this looks cool. Neither of us got into this game at all.
We didn't.
But I mean, to add co-op to it, that makes it a game that was a single-player game to now be a little bit more accessible for people who maybe didn't pick it up at launch and maybe play through this and have a little bit of help and not be quite as brutal. But the endless mode is something to just keep people playing the game, right? And make sure that you have something else to do after you beat it.
There's some cool shit in here. I mean, like it's got big Doom vibes in it. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, it's a 3D bullet hell, which you don't
Hmm.
see. I mean, really, they're kind of the ones that made this a thing. There wasn't a whole lot of 3D bullet
Mm-mm.
hells, and I think this really, from what I've heard, it was fantastic and people loved it. There were some minor things about like not being able to basically close out the game, which is a problem, but I believe that has been fixed since then, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a cool little update. It's free, which is awesome, and it's great to see House Marquee still supporting this game.
Oh yeah.
The Dio Field Chronicle. This is coming later this year.
Right
This
off the
is
tongue.
a yeah. I'm actually kind of interested in this. So this is a Square Enix title as well. This is like a an RTS style game,
Yep.
but in a fantasy type world. I really actually liked the art style, and I think it could potentially have some serious. Not I don't know. It looks like they could do almost like a Fire Emblem esque thing. Granted, it looks like it's a little bit more real time than what Fire Emblem typically is, where Fire Emblem's still kind of your turn based to some extent. But this had more like XCOM vibes, I guess.
It's like
But
XCOM, and the art is done in tilt shift, like Octopath
yeah,
Traveler, Triangle Strategy
yeah,
on
yeah. The art style
gameplay.
was
And then
cool.
it also looked like there was like crazy power ups because in the trailer there's like a massive
Hmm.
dragon demigod that like fires off, a ton of just a laser on the entire like land or map that you're on. It just does damage to everybody. So I mean, it
Yeah,
looks
this
cool.
it's kind of like a Final Fantasy meets Fire Emblem meets XCOM type of
Hmm.
situation, which I think could really make for a cool game, or it could absolutely flop. I'm not entirely sure which direction it'll go, but I think it looks cool. The art style, I love that like 2.5 HD, whatever the fuck they got going on there. I
Oh, you
really
mean like
enjoy that
where it
art
looks like a
style.
little model?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's called
yeah, yeah,
tilt
yeah.
shift. Yeah.
Tilt shift. Yeah, I can't remember the triangle strategy. They've been calling it like a 2.5 HD
Oh,
something or
that's
another,
weird.
right?
Yeah.
But they still had like a cutscenes that had like normal 3D models to some extent, and I
Yeah,
think they could
but
do
that's
some
that's
interesting
Final
things here.
Fantasy for you.
Yeah,
They're not gonna
and
get
then
away
the
from the
last thing we
cutscenes.
right? Yeah, Final Fantasy loves their cutscenes for sure. The last thing was Valkyrie Elysium. So this is launching
Yeah.
sometime this year. This is a return of a franchise that has not put out anything since 2006, if I remember correctly. Um, I did not like how this
It
looked.
looks a bit empty.
It looks
It looked
it
empty to
looks
me,
like
and
it.
it looked like it looked like it was 2006.
That's what I was gonna say too.
The
It
enemies look
had this
lifeless.
empty open world like run around hack and slash type of thing, and I don't know what. I'm sure there's a cult following for this franchise,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
I this one did not appeal to me at all, and I also
No.
really hated that they had this kind of weird like cell shaded look to them where they had this really like white and black outline around them,
Mm-hmm.
and I just nothing about this game was speaking to me in any way shape or form. Honestly, I would have much rather them closed out on the Diofield Chronicle
Oh,
than
I
this.
I agree. Like some of the map looks okay, like environment design wise, but yeah,
Yeah.
the enemies, like even in the trailer, it looks like you have to be like 5 feet from them for them to engage you. When they engage you, it's the same animation over and over and over again.
It kind of reminded me. Granted, I think near.
This is a Final Fantasy game,
I think it's a
correct?
spin-off. No,
But it's in the
its
world.
own
It's in
thing.
the world, right?
Is it? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I mean, if you look
I
at the
just know it's
logo
a
and shit,
franchise
it looks
that.
fucking like
Well,
it's
that's
matching. I
because it's
know.
Square Enix.
I know. I just didn't know if it's just, part of the lore of it at all or anything like that. I mean, we're not
I'm not
somewhere
sure either.
somehow someone that's a Final Fantasy fan, which I don't know at this point. It's good. It's fine to be a fan. I don't know how the fuck you keep up at this point, but you know, people freaking out.
Yeah, I I don't know. Like I was saying, I think that it does some similar things to what like Near Replicant did, which is also a older game. Granted, they remastered it recently and it looks gorgeous, but it has that kind of same where the world is in a way somewhat empty, and it just has this kind of hollow feel to the entire game. Granted, we've only seen a small amount of it, and I don't know anything about it really, but from what I was seeing in that trailer, I'm probably out already.
I don't blame you.
It is. I looked. No, it looks like it's its own thing. It draws heavily from Norse mythology. It looks like there was a Valkyrie Profile was the original game back in '99. There's Valkyrie Profile 2 in 2006. Valkyrie Profile Covenant of the Plume in 2008, and there was a Valkyrie Anatomia, the Origin in 2016. But they've all been. Nope, they released in the West eventually. Yeah. It looks like it's kind of a little bit of a cult classic type game for people, but I have never played a single one of them, nor had I even heard about it until this announcement. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just kind of one of the things like...
No thanks.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
No thanks.
Nah.
Moving on, something I will play. Sly Cooper, if they come up with a new one. So there's some red hot rumors going around. There was some rumors before the State of Play with people like, oh, they're going to announce during State of Play. And then there's the people who originally came with the rumors like, no, they're not. It's like the second half of 2022 is when they expect this to happen. But basically, the reason why all this shit started up was there was a dude on Twitter. Let me try to make sure I give credit. Account NGT. Okay, so at Twitter handles at ACCNGT. And he says, according to a source for Sly, they are aiming for a reveal for the second half of 2022, which makes sense since later this year is Sly's 20th anniversary. He said that he can corroborate their new Sly Cooper and a new Infamous are in development. That's also the other side. So there'd be an Infamous and a Sly Cooper in development. Later on, there's another tweet.
Working on it?
Sucker Punch is not developing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so people started going crazy because what happened was they went on Who Are They or Who Is It, I think? Who Is. And the domain for slycooper.com was the registrant contact on a Sucker Punch Productions, which makes sense. It expired on like they re-registered it a couple days before it was going to expire and re-registered the fucking thing. Like took it out of dormancy.
Okay.
Which is fantastic. So it was updated on March 4th, 2022.
Interesting.
The domain name. And it's slycooper.com. It's all in there, all that shit. So, I mean, the 20th anniversary would be great. My thing is, what I think is going to happen is we're not going to get a new game. I think we're going to get a fucking remaster.
Probably.
Which sucks ass because Sly Cooper, you were just left in Egypt with no fucking answers. And then we haven't gotten a fucking game. Forever.
Yeah. I was never a big Sly Cooper fan, but I'm
2013.
I mean, 2013.
2013 is the last time a Sly Cooper game came out.
God, I thought it was even earlier than that.
So I'm the only fucking stealth game I have ever liked is Sly Cooper.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's like not as stealthy as a Tom Clancy or whatever. I just like a Splinter Cell game. I just for some reason I just fucking like it.
Remake exactly like you said, and then announce a new Infamous, but we won't see it until like 2024.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd be fine with like having the remakes and having them updated. Is it gonna be a huge difference for me? Not really. I mean, their art style, sure, it's just gonna look a little bit crisper, but there's nothing that's gonna be, amazing.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get
remastered.
I don't think it's gonna get like a Resident Evil 2 level remaster. I think it's gonna be little bit quicker than that. I also don't think it's going to be like GTA Trilogy remastered. That was dog shit. I think it's going to be just a nice coat of paint on it, and maybe a little bit of quality of life type thing, and go from there.
I think it'd be dope too if you could play the Vita game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty dope because there's some extra shit in that. And then for Infamous, I think Infamous is basically gonna be the same shit. Hey, we're remastering it, and there's a new Infamous coming out.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why not?
People fucking love
point,
that stuff. They'd eat that up. No fucking problem. Anyways, there's still rumors, but they seem pretty good so far. They seem pretty legit. We'll just have to see. I can totally see it, especially with 20th anniversary coming up to it. I think it's a IP and genre that they could definitely use more of in the future, and that they could definitely take advantage of more than ever. I think it was honestly kind of ahead of its time. Not in the mechanics necessarily, but I guess ahead of its time for PlayStation when it was on PlayStation 2 and PS3. But I don't know. I mean, this is also, it's fucking PlayStation, so they could just be like, we're coming out with a line of shirts about this, or hey, it's going to be a PSVR game, which that would really suck. I really don't want VR to become the repository of what, we should get a sequel, and instead we get a fucking, like, Half-Life Alyx is a good game from what I've watched, but it came to fucking VR, so people bought VR headsets.
Absolutely.
It didn't come out because it was another Half-Life fucking game that they wanted to put out there for Half-Life fans. They put it out to get fucking headsets sold. I mean,
point blank. Sell some of those $1,000 Steam indexes.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Sly Cooper by any means. That's just I wasn't a PlayStation kid, and I also don't play stealth games. What's up? Yeah.
When did this happen? The voice actress who played Cortana, good God, Cortana, it's her cousin, Cortana and Mercy got stabbed and killed.
Really?
Way back though. So it was in like a trending now section, so I clicked it, and then it was published August 14th of 2021. I had no idea this fucking happened. Brazilian voice actress Christine Louise.
Yeah, I remember that. It was the Brazilian voice actress, yeah.
And Sivir from League of Legends passed away on August 6th, according to a colleague. The Brazilian voice actress was 49 years old when she was allegedly been murdered in the city of Rio de Janeiro. Holy shit.
Yeah, I remember that happening. Yep. Huh.
Oh my God. That's wild. Holy shit. Anyways, yeah, Sly Cooper rumors. Take it with a grain of salt, but I think that they're pretty fucking solid. I think the second half of 2022 is going to be pretty fucking solid. I think we're probably going to get a couple I think we'll get another state of play in April. And then I think it'll be pretty dry in May, pre-E3. And then I don't think we'll get another one until July, because we didn't get the last other one until July or August after E3 last year, because obviously PlayStation's not in E3 or E3.
Right. I think we got a smaller one right before E3, didn't we?
I think so, but it was super. I think it was very, very small indie titles, from what I remember. So,
and then we got the bigger one after E3. But that I'm sure we'll definitely get a lot of announcements in the second half of this year. This year is already pretty packed as long as more things don't get delayed, which I'm sure there's going to be more delays,
my God,
right?
Yeah,
but,
for sure. Well, I also think even if there's not a lot of stuff announced, there's a lot of stuff that's been announced that we've never seen gameplay of.
Yeah.
Fable.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's a ton of stuff on the Microsoft side that we just haven't seen gameplay of. We've just been told about it, or we've seen 3 seconds of it. Right. So yeah, Fable will be huge. Cool.
I'm stoked for that. So the last thing we have, are you going to jump into it, or you want me to read it off here?
I can do it. No free upgrades for anybody for GTA 5 coming to PS5 or Xbox Series X. No free upgrades for you. Not 1 year, but forever. So it's releasing March 15th. Xbox is launching at 50% off at $19.99. The standalone version of GTA Online will be available for $9.99 for the first 3 months, and then it will jump up to $19.99. PS5 is launching at 75% off at $9.99. They obviously have that some sort of exclusive deal with Grand Theft Auto. The standalone version of GTA Online will be available for free for the first 3 months for PlayStation players, and then it will jump up to $19.99 as well. And these prices will stay for the first 3 months, that meaning the actual just full-on retail version of GTA 5 until June after launch, and then they'll jump back up respectively to $39.99. I mean, $10 isn't terrible. The fact that the $10 is timed at launch fucking sucks. It should just be $10. Like if you want to sell the game to people and then you want to sell the upgrade, that's fine. I don't know. They've also made a shit ton of money, right? And like we can all complain about it, but we know that everyone's gonna fucking go buy this.
Yeah, absolutely.
For $10 and for $40.
I think the $20 price point is even a pretty egregious, honestly. I mean, and that's not even the full retail, right? Like they're definitely trying to get most people to buy this in the first 3 months because of the deal they have going on. But I mean, $40 for this upgrade, if you already own the game and you, for whatever reason, don't purchase this in the first 3 months, if you want it, that's crazy. I mean, that at that point, you're just buying the game over again, pretty much. It's just
probably the fourth time, like everyone else.
Yeah, right? Like, this game has been out since, 2013? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sly
9
Cooper.
years. Right, yeah, the same time. Sly Cooper. This is a 9-year-old game. From all of the videos and things I have seen of the upgrades, doesn't look like they did a whole lot, personally. It does not look that great. It looks pretty much the same as GTA looks.
I'm gonna wait out
and the
for
load times are already abysmal.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait out for a comparison video done by like IGN or somebody, and then I'll go and maybe buy it. But the fucking problem with that game is it's like it's so fucking weird. It's like you buy it just to see how it looks. You play it for like fucking 15 minutes for the fourth time again. You go, okay. Yep, right. Game starting. Here we are. Oh no. Trevor got shot. He's holding the woman hostage near the barns. Oh, I'm driving the thing in the snow. I mean, it's just the first. Like how many times can you fucking play the game over and over again? Then people are like, well, it's GTA Online. I don't really give a shit. I know there's lots of people that do give a shit, but
right.
And I think that's really the main premise for this is just that.
Like the online is fun for a little bit, playing like a couple nights and screwing around with some friends, and then after that, I don't care because it takes way too long to earn the money to actually do anything fun.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, I'd be cool if the fucking online map was completely different than the map in the game.
Yeah, that area.
Like, I mean, maybe the course of action on GTA, because again, like when it first came out, there wasn't GTA Online. There was just Grand Theft Auto 5. But I mean, usually I play the fucking story first, and then I would maybe go into the online mode. That would be my thinking, and I just get bored by it because it's like, if you play the game, you've been all over the fucking place.
Yeah, I genuinely just don't. I don't even think I'm gonna get the $10 upgrade. Like, I just don't care. I'm over it. This game has been out for 9 years. I have bought it. I think I've said 3 times at this point. Not full price. I usually bought it.
I've bought it 3 times. I bought it on Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it 4 times. I've bought it 4 times. I bought it on Xbox 360. Yep, I bought it on Xbox 360. I bought it on Xbox One. I bought it on PS4. And then I bought it on PS5 because remember my Canadian account, I had to make a whole new account because my fucking...
Oh, that's right.
I couldn't move shit over. It was stupid when I moved here. So yeah, I bought it 4 times. 4 fucking times.
Soon to be almost
So
5.
I've spent over $100 and something buying this fucking game 4 times.
Yep.
I don't know. This is what we're in, right? I mean, I'm still flabbergasted we haven't got a Skyrim remaster or update or something like that again for
Give
fucking
it time.
maybe.
Probably
Dude.
get the announcement at E3.
Oh fuck! I'll sit there and be like, oh no, what have I done?
Right.
But anyways, I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Is that it?
That's all we got.
Amazing. Cool, guys. Well, if you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, you can do so by following us at Diggity Podcast. Check out YouTube for Spawn Camp, where you can find stuff like Gundam. You can find the WASD and Beyond Boys for their podcast. And you can find them also on different podcast platforms. You can also find OBO, Objectively Bad Opinions, which is a casual podcast with just friends talking about weird shit. It's a good old time every single Monday. And until next time, we'll see you later.